We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champions. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up. The cake up. Raise up or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you. Right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Y'all gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block them all. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Cut through cruise, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneak, it's on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the play, but the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
All right, you saw the challenge on the screen. I don't need to repeat it. It's Solo Challenge. Madden Ultimate Team, go earn your keep. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And what could he possibly be thinking? He just took the fair catch at the 1-yard line. Major mistake. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And what a blow it had to have been for Carson Wentz to realize his season was over after the injury in Los Angeles with his team just rolling at that point. Dreams of a Super Bowl in everyone's head. But as soon as the doctors cleared him, he made every quarterback meeting, every team meeting, spent extra time with Nick Foles, stayed involved with the team on the sidelines during games. He was probably their biggest supporter during their run to the Super Bowl. Never dropped his head, stayed involved.
Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Wentz now on first down. Dancing to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10. As they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback?
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Von Miller in there to get him for a loss of a yard, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
81. There we go. 120.
Wentz. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. Working from the gun. Wentz buying time to his left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Wentz now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. This will be caught at about the 5. They're able to hold them to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Forced out to his left. And this will be a touchdown. DJ Moore there to make the grab. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. DeMarcus Ware. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To throw is Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Underneath for Miller. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 65 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken in at the 1. And now back out comes the offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
58!
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. On 3rd down, it's Miller. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. It's fielded at the 45. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here,
and this is caught, and he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 39 that time. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now Wentz, and he will have a touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz, and the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jordan Hicks not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there on third down. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Not the results you wanted, but the good news, practice makes perfect. We'll see you again right here on the Madden Ultimate Team Solo Challenge. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And the offense readies for a first down and 10. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. Oh, he slipped right. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 88 yards. And the Madden Elites have taken the early lead. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs? This one was way more than that. We got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. 3.5 to go, first quarter.
Hey. 319! 58!
They go play action here on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no? And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. DeMarcus Ware coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
319!
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. DeMarcus Ware in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, good move. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with
And this is caught, and it's a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 40 yards. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they were
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the hometown guys with a football here to begin this second quarter of play. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here. Throwing on first is Wentz. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Madden Elites trotting out again. And they've now this offense ready to head back out there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. DeMarcus Ware getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
19, 58.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rodgers dumps it complete to Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Madden Elites heading back onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
82.
Wentz now on 1st down. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And going deep for Hill. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this will be a touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On first down, Wentz. And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill as time expires in the first half. And this offense continues to pour it on.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He's going deep for Brown. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's going the other way. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the run, it's Barkley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing is Wentz, being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up. First and goal now. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. And that does it for this one. Pat yourself on the back. You just completed and dominated the Madden Ultimate Team Solo Challenge.
What's that on that beat?
Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my pants, flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now. That's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow. That's a big no. Gotta chase this money, bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money. I must get this money. I must get this money, get this money, get this money. I'm addicted.
All right, your challenge awaits. Can you fulfill that solo challenge? Time to find out. It is indeed the solo challenge, and it's Madden Ultimate Team time. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And now the offense getting set, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually used their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them big.
Absolutely. Had him pinned on the 2. Not anymore. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will have a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 69 yards. And the Madden Elites have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Play fake. Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Portland in control of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Lion.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's caught at the 10. And he'll be out of bounds. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now it's Barkley. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, it's Miller losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down. Check. 20. Great.
Now Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Come on.
Wentz now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
4 down. Lion.
Wentz going to throw. And going deep for Hill. It's caught at the 10. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Again, it's Wentz. And it's a touchdown. Carson Wentz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. That's it for the first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. This is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
This is Barkley. And now running right through it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a first down.
And that's the way to start a drive, and that's the way to continue a drive. Back-to-back, nice chunk plays. And if you're the offensive coordinator in your chess match with the defensive guy, you're thinking maybe you put him in a spot where he's got to load up against the run, because that last one was a really nice play. What are you going to do now? Do you go ahead and play into it, continue to run the ball, play action, try and hit him over the top? You've got to feel like you have the advantage. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to you.
And he will score. It's a touchdown. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. DeMarcus Ware in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a handoff to Miller. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Hicks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll go down at the 28. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they probably got one, and that's a win.
And this will be a touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 11 yards out. And this offense is running away with this one.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One final try now for Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. All right, nice job. I believe that is challenge met and defeated from where I sit. Congratulations. Good job on this Madden Ultimate Team solo challenge.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. That's just what I say. I said, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. 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 With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? And I look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these rats. They be late, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari body. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. 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 With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking wall. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari. it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
I sound him.
And the offense readies for a first down and 10.
82, 82.
They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
15, 15.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Alert, alert. 82, 82.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final minute. And his guys have taken the lead here in the 4th. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He's back to throw. Flexing his muscle, and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're... Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. 31 yards there and a first down.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for, because they'll need to continue to rely on them to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Don't go.
Wentz to throw. Oh, he stays up. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We buy the ball now. Swing doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, then sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student felon. Now I got a lawyer. Straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element. Out my element. My the same. Don't need no clout, no fame. No clout. Bought the game. All brand new chain. I swerve the lane. Call the group the gang. Whip that thing. Whip it. Then she give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it. Bring the. I do. Don't want no. They pull up with they. It's times 3. This how it go. Park $1 million at the. We gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs and PJ. Rich like water, go to Cabo. Splash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Hunch up on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We buy the ball now. Swing doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now the offense getting set. First and 10. On first and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. And a huge play that time. 41 yards. Wentz going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. He'll look to throw, and he will have a touchdown. Carson Wentz, his second touchdown of the night, and his guys are just an extra point away now from taking the lead in this game. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
And now here comes Kansas City. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week in practice is going to be a whole...
And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Carson Wentz, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a one-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talents. You think that they...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And it's a touchdown. Carson Wentz taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Tyreek Hill set to return it. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. DeMarcus Ware in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And now he clocks it with 19 seconds remaining. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Green,
30. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Now here's Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just let down on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he will score. It's a touchdown. DJ Moore, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Madden Elites, they extend their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Huh?
One final try for Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the...
Nothing on that beat. Addicted to balling, I have to get my cash. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my pants, flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money, I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now, that's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow, that's a big no. Gotta chase this money, bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money, I must get this money. I must get this money, get this money, get this money. I'm addicted to balling, I have to get my cash. The money is calling, got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling.
And on second down, the offense gets ready to rock.
Four down.
Prescott now from the 50. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald able to get him for a loss of about 3. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DeMarcus Ware with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So now it's left in the hands of their defense to come up with an immediate stop.
And this is where you count on your stars on defense. Can they come up with a game-altering play here? Can they knife through into the backfield and pop the ball free? Can they make that type of a play that gives them another opportunity? And what do we say? One timeout, but you get a second
2-minute warning
with a 2-minute warning, so they've got to use those well.
So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now running right through it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with Barkley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in. No hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, fighting off the defender. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then scoring.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively.
I sound
card, hop out the